Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rumbling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Disco Elysium Blind. Now, I am in a bit of a pickle here because it's already late at night and almost everyone is asleep. And I can't find any other place to sleep other than the whirling rags. But obviously I have to pay the guy back the kind of money I clearly don't have. Which, you know, Kim has graciously offered to lend me some money by letting me pawn some of his things. But to be honest, I would prefer not doing that, because obviously that's kind of rough to just take the guy's things and pawn them because of my debts. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to just see if sleeping is even a mandatory thing. That goes to the harbor, but it's guarded by this Measurehead guy. I might try getting my cloak. Worst case scenario, I'll die, which, you know, is decidedly less of a hassle in a video game.
Tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast, you're a boxer, and you've climbed way too high up here.
Again, this is actually a different text than the one that was read.
You could have died there. Shit, 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 shit. I'm failing you. This wasn't part of our deal.
I got you, Gratan. Let me just adjust your breathing a little bit. There, isn't that better?
God, now I can't breathe at all. Stop doing this to me, Nectar. You were supposed to be a friend.
Hey, what's happening? You okay?
I'm alright, Kim. I can't breathe.
It's okay. You're just having a little panic attack. Try to breathe as slowly as you can, alright?
He shakes you gently by the shoulder.
The necktie lets go a little. Its vicious grip easing around your neck. Colors return to the world around you.
I think it's working.
Good. We can always come back when you are feeling better. It's just a cloak after all.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Well, I just wanted to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside.
She's grown frustrated with her work and welcomes the opportunity to challenge authority in other ways. A brush, an artist. The red splatter is urban expressionism.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief.
She turns her head to face the coast and nods disdainfully towards Joyce performing maintenance on her boat.
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershaw. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
You mean Joyce?
On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
Well, the negativity.
Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
She studies the wall, suddenly pensive. Why are you so committed to defacing the building? To be honest, I don't have that high of an opinion of graffiti on public property, because, as the name suggests, it's public property, it's not your personal canvas. Not to mention, I would say the majority of graffiti is just plain ugly anyway, but I don't think it matters, because even if it's artistically pleasing, public property is still not yours to paint as you see fit without any kind of, prior agreement. Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cabs. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
I have an opinion on this. Wanna hear it?
Yeah?
Yeah, I do have an opinion on this. I'm going to have to stop you. This is hooliganism.
Let's be realistic. What are you going to do? Climb up there?
You heard your partner, Piggy. I'm unstoppable.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
Who am I speaking to?
Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out of here.
This is the police. Open the door.
Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
The hallways echo with her cackle, but I'm not joking.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
She trails off, leaving the sentence unfinished.
Backyard door. There must be another entrance to the east.
Well, I was just there, and it's locked as well. Kim, tell her we're real policemen. That sounds incredibly pathetic, to be honest.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Look closer first.
The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient.
Kim, look, bullet holes.
Where?
Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it.
There? Those are old.
He looks to the wall. Oh, you mean like from the revolution?
Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during the revolution and do not warrant an investigation by officers of civil law.
What can you tell me about this revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
What was that thought about? I guess it's nothing. Seems like a bug. Yep, definitely seems like a bug. I guess I am going to press this. So I don't have much else to do, to be honest. This
A
time of
rusty
night.
control panel with loose wires dangling out from the hole where an indicator light used to be, and a mechanical lever sitting in the middle. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Pull the lever up.
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens.
I'm kind of worried I'll break it.
A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Alright. Let's leave for now, I guess. I guess I could just try getting into the harbor. Past the Measurehead guy. Still haven't died of exhaustion, so... Maybe I don't actually need to sleep. Who knows?
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
The young woman at the giant's side agrees.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Size him up.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me.
Well, to be honest, my body is unimportant. I'm with the police and we need to get into the harbor.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al-Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust, as if he were smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Al Ghul?
Yes, Al-Ghul.
He means alcohol.
Oh. Understood.
I doubt it. My microcephalic race servant.
You're right, I am an alcoholic, and I need that dead body to no longer be in the tree.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it. Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
That fat racist over there. Point to the racist lorryman. You're just him after pumping some iron.
Look at my craniology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens a door to the harbor. This man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back. That's unlikely to work, but who knows?
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor.
Yeah, this does seem to be going nowhere. What I don't understand is...
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
Yeah, there is. Because even the game itself claimed that I can get to the harbor from Kuno's hideout. So... But I don't quite know how. Like, the protagonist does not seem to be very interested in climbing. Okay, I have to go over here. Let's go for it.
The crumpled salmon and butter billboard still soaks in the canal, marked by tire tracks. The lieutenant looks on, waiting for you to wrap up your analysis. A rusting control panel with loose wires dangling out from the hole where an indicator light used to be, and a mechanical lever sitting in the middle. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the situation. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Last we saw, your race was being superseded by the Seminese.
This is kind of a sort of accusatory way of starting this, because I don't know this for sure. It's my suspicion, sure, but And I don't want to agree with him, because obviously he's an unhinged racist. Talking
Last we saw,
about degenerates and how certain races are better than others.
Yes?
Tell me about the case again. Have anything new to say?
What do you want to know?
Now that we've inspected the scene, I want to know more about this pissing competition you mentioned.
What's there to say? It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
So this is a struggle over who runs Martinez?
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
What's so special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
I wonder what this says about me, that I was sent here by my station. He raises an eyebrow, thinking it's best to let you make the next move.
It's all part of the master plan, you see.
It might be that I am a highly experimental cop, in the sense that I am an absolute train wreck, and they sent me here because they wanted to see what kind of shenanigans I'm going to get up to, which, you know, probably aren't disappointed because I've already lost my memory and drunk so hard that I destroyed my entire, you know, identity, and I'm heavily in debt and lost my gun and the badge. I am a highly experimental cop. But if I am right, this outre is... This is outre, even by my standard.
Really?
His eyebrows get raised one more notch. I arrive at the scene 3 days early, drink myself to oblivion, fully re-immerse myself with the reality, and then work the case from an angle so crescent fresh it produces never-before-seen results, not only for criminology, but also for the human mind. Yeah, that's, you know, that's the best-case scenario.
It can't be that.
Part of him wants to believe. Part of him sort of wants to believe what you just said. It probably isn't, but I'll try to prove it so.
I hope you do.
And he will help.
Okay, enough of the competition then. Tell me something else.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
Why did the 41st send me?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57.
But to be honest, I don't think that makes much sense, because either way, it doesn't work all that well as a slight, because if I'm a shit cop, and I accomplish nothing, and the other guy does, that still makes us look bad, and if I am an unhinged drunkard, and yet, despite that, somehow, what's the word? I somehow manage to solve the case. That kind of makes me a genius in a roundabout way. So this can't be right.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to commiserate on that. I'll just keep it to myself.
Of course, it's only a theory.
Okay, so we don't have anything else to say, apparently. But I also kind of don't have anything else to do. Like, I've been everywhere. Well, you know, I haven't agreed with the Measurehead, but there has to be a way to get there without agreeing with him. So everything is kind of pointing me in the direction of actually having to pawn Kim's stuff to get a decent night's rest.
Can I help you?
So I don't think I'm going to... I don't think I'm supposed to just run around for the entire night. Like, there's nothing to do during the night, really. Because everything is closed and everyone is asleep. So I'm sorry, Kim, but I guess I have to... I have to take advantage of your charity.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
Thanks, I appreciate your help.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Tap on the fuel preheater gauge? What would that do?
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch, labeled heat.
Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
The lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mesk banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
The lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you.
He takes the cash and turns to you.
Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest goes in his pocket.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Do I have anything else to sell?
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Yeah, I don't think I need this. I might sell this. I'm kind of tempted to sell the rifle, because I can't shoot for shit anyway. But obviously that's kind of a unique item, so...
Another time, perhaps.
Can I help you?
And so about that money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
Yes, I have your money.
Well?
Well, here it is. Sorry for the trouble.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him.
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
Oh, okay.
I'll take a room here too.
He opens his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
He takes the money and hands him a keyring. So I need to get some money on the next day as well, to pay him for the lodgings for the another day. But I'm already pretty ahead.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
He lights a cigarette. I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How did you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Yeah, generally he's right. To be honest, I'm glad I never picked up smoking. I had literally one whiff of a cigarette around middle school, and it was such a nauseating experience for me that I never touched cigarettes after that.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit.
Right then, to the debrief.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough. and we have solid leads to follow up on. Then you shot him in the chest, which wasn't ideal, and we still have to get him down from the tree.
By not ideal, he means he can't believe he let you try that trick and would be angry if he didn't feel the outcome was partly his responsibility.
I admit I'm a little out of practice.
Being sober also tends to help with precision. But moving on to the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Evrard Claire, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We tried to interview the White Band's rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
He purses his lips.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
Yeah, I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast, the rest has to try to keep up.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at the snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. So what are our powers exactly? The RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
1,000? Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station closely. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
How can you be sure that the RSC will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
When power calls you, you come. But power itself is a fragile trick of perception.
Well, I see. And what if someone resists?
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
So if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
He taps his coat pocket, where he keeps his notes. And who makes all the rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern, more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Yeah, but I, to be honest, probably don't know anything to present like an informed opinion.
Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
The Moral Intern? What is that?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
I really don't know. That's how bad it is in here. Point to your head.
Okay. There are a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like them?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
That's another leitmotif associated with moralism.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
The lieutenant arches his brow and pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. To be honest, it's difficult to make like a, you know, to make like a reasonable assessment, because you would have to compare how shit were the things before. But at the very least, I guess they are keeping some kind of a police force, which, you know, I am not one of those people. I think societies need police. I think that there will always be people who can't just peacefully coexist with others, and there has to be some kind of an organization that will deal with them. You know, police and courts and stuff. So... But on second thought, I don't really have an opinion. Like, I just don't know enough about the state of things.
My kind of police officer.
A light smile, then he looks at the roundabout. Say nothing, just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. 2 glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
He pulls on the cigarette. Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks.
And in Jamrock and the JRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
He shakes his head. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
Okay, thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
He puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. See you in the morning. Oh, I can clean up after myself. Which I probably should. Can I retry the mirror check?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
I could try fixing the faucet. What are my chances?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
That's great. Okay, I think I'll just go to sleep for now.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Okay, let's do that.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him?
Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh, that's me.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between between her legs and in her mouth.
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
So I have a choice between I left and I was left. To be honest, they both suck, because if you leave, that means things weren't working out, and you've made a mistake by trying to connect with that person. But if you are left, then that means you weren't working out for them, which is arguably worse. So I guess out of the two, I would prefer to leave myself. It's a slightly less crappy of a feeling, I feel like. I left.
Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Islas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots of the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet. Grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy.
Is that how it's going to be now when I close my eyes?
Yes. Wait till you see the one with the chick in it. It's gonna be a good one. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What chick?
You don't know? You don't know? Some broad that messed you up. It'll come to you. It always does.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed. Speed is a type of drug, right? But let's just ask, what is speed?
Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago. With me. To wake up exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's that simple.
Well, to be honest, maybe it's a good moment to get clean. Like, my stance on drugs is a bit, some people might say it's a bit paradoxical, but I don't really think that, because I am for legalizing most drugs for recreational use, but at the same time, even if they were legal, I have like zero interest in trying them myself. I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do without the drugs. Half the town won't be dead.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
Anything I can do with this?
The fan stands still. The switch must be broken, because nothing happens. The air in the room is starting to feel like vaporized urine. The lights are on.
Oh, there's a broken window. I totally didn't notice last time.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Look out.
The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings.
Assess the damage. Has been here a while.
The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
Did I break it with my own hands?
A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent.
Who did this then?
More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact.
Assess the size of the impact.
It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The shoe you found on the balcony fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough, if thrown with force. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe.
What a stupid thing to do.
Pretty much. But hey, at least you found your shoe. The window stands broken in its frame.
Are the checks reset by any chance? By me sleeping?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Nope. So I assume Kim stays here. Am I going around without him for today?
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. Still nothing.
Oh, he is down here. Actually, can I sing? Good morning. And good morning to you too. I can't. Still haven't found the song. This feels right. You belong here. Yeah, I'm going to press X to doubt.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
What do you mean, rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Are these the men Garte told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
Well, so many of them. Maybe we should call in reinforcements?
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the Dock Workers Union. The belt used for hanging him, tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
Let's roll.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first.
Okay.
But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Okay, I'll leave them for now.
Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
Okay, that's kind of ominous. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism while looking at the shapes of the coalition airships? The answer, no. Yeah, I'm going to press X to doubt. Moralist dialogue options heal +1 morale. Learning cap for volition raised. for logic. That hardly matters because I think it's already higher. But sure, I'll keep it for now. I have 2 points here. Okay, let's talk to Garth again.
Can I help you?
Okay, I don't really have anything to talk about, and I don't have enough money to pay him yet.
Just a moment.
The old woman turns back to the cafeteria manager.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
She turns back to you with a weary smile.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Good day, ma'am. Everything all right?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there, or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
What's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
She frowns. Why did you need to use the phone?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover. You hear that? Someone's missing. There could be foul play afoot.
I love missing person cases.
That's right. Now skip the foreplay. Time to dive into the dark alleys. Start shaking down the usual suspects. You know, legwork.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window towards the bay.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
What is this? Tell me more about your husband. Luke's character, your relationship.
Oh dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
What does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
Her smile is soft. How did the two of you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles wistfully. I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
So, your husband is some kind of a scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite. She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock that was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who is this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
She smiles.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The waterlock to the other side of the coast is broken. They are probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the waterlock?
It looks like some maniac crashed his motor carriage into it. Probably Jacob Irv. Well, I'm not sure why I'm so fixated on that Jacob Irv person, but apart from that, I'm pretty convinced of the rest of it being true.
Oh, sweetie, if it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you both.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here, when or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids.
You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot.
Wow. That's Man, that's really unlucky. I want to know everything about cryptids. Living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids. Bring it on.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
I might be back to this. Because I might actually put a point into suggestion. At some point. The tomatoes are so thinly sliced, you can see through them.
You see a heavy steel door with...
Anything new to say? Or pantomime?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. acknowledging your presence.
Okay, so the answer is not really. Okay, I'll ignore you for now. I'll be back. But this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save. And end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.